Alright, man. Listen, y'all. I wanted to record. I wanted to tell you that it's the day before my birthday. And I'm having a good day. Tell you the truth, I didn't think I'd have a good day. I don't usually have a good day before my birthday. I usually, I don't know. I wanted to talk about why people repress so many feelings. They repress them. They let them sit in their stomach, and they never share them. My last writings I did were about me finding my birth mother. Why I did that is because since 2013 I haven't opened up to anyone about it. People have asked me, people who had helped me on the journey, and I kept this story to myself. I couldn't keep it to myself anymore. The reason I kept it to myself is because I was, I think, tired. You know, you search or you do something for so long, and when it finally comes out, you're not really sure where to go with that. And almost 39 years of identity crisis after identity crisis. Looking for someone who I thought would make everything fit. It doesn't. Okay? You are your own person. Yeah. Your parents may have a hand in it. Your siblings, your friends. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Oh, God. I feel like I say this to so many people. Right now, I think that my oldest is going through something that I'm not really sure. And I don't really know how to approach him. We've become strangers. I don't know who he is. He doesn't know who I am. I don't know. I get depressed. We live in the same house. We don't talk anymore. I don't know. I wanted to say that, you know, you're not anybody else's identity but your own. And I know that everyone goes through midlife crisis, 20-year-old crisis. There's so many crises that we go through because we're constantly evolving into, hopefully, better human beings. I struggle with not being angry, not letting my feelings sneak up on me. Even though that, as I tell people, never be ashamed of who you are. Don't ever be ashamed of who you are. Don't ever be ashamed to let your light show. And preaching is easier than living. You know this, and I know this. Sometimes we try not to follow the flock or morph ourselves into other people, but it's hard to do when you are trying to people please. And a lot of times I'm so bitter and angry, I feel like it's going to swallow me whole. And as I said before, what other people perceive of me is not always what it is. Yesterday I was showed kindness by a woman who doesn't even know me. Why I say this is I just met her. She went out and bought me gifts. I'm not a material person. The gifts floored me. They made me feel beautiful. It's hard to explain. The kindness showed. It's something that I usually do, you know, and so it was a nice, how do you say it? It was a nice feeling, and I'm very appreciative. But back to what I was saying about your identity. I don't know if I'm ever going to get over the fact that I'm adopted. You know, it's not so much the adoption, it's the rejection that I feel. And maybe I wouldn't feel that rejected if I actually knew what the fuck I was being rejected for. Now, I don't mean to get loud, but that's just me. You know, I don't want a storybook fantasy. I never asked for a storybook fantasy. And I didn't expect a storybook fantasy. I didn't think that finding her would ever change me. I just thought it might lessen the blow, but it didn't do that either. In fact, I think it made it harder because, see, when you don't know, you can fantasize, live in a fairy tale dream of what ifs. You make up ideas and stories in your head of what they were, or what they are, or where they're at. And when reality sets in, it's a totally different thing. You're not always sure what you're going to get. All I know is I followed in her footsteps. You know, my story might be a little different from hers with a child from giving to adoption. But when I tell you that if my son walked up to me one day, my excitement could not be contained. But that's the kind of person I am. I would not probably know how to act, talk, walk, or feel. I'd probably burst out crying, grabbing him, embracing him, and I know where he is, you know. I mean, he's not far from me. But he's at an age now where if he ever wants to come to me, it's of his choosing. Being a teenager is hard enough without the burdens laid upon you of some lady who's fucking tatted up and crazy looking wanting to be a part of his life after all these years. Nah, it's not me. I'm not one of those embarrassing, pushy people. I never embarrass him. I won't. It's like I don't embarrass my son now. That's why I haven't met my son's girlfriend's parents. You know, I don't want to be an embarrassment. You know, give the kid a fighting chance. It's another thing. Identity. You know. Are you happy with who you become, Christina? Yes, I'm fine with who I've become. That's when people say, if you're okay with who you become, then why are you? Because I know how people look at me. It's just the truth. It doesn't matter how I speak or act, or they still look at me, and you know, I just don't want to do that to my kid. Which is why I'm not really understanding my process with him right now. But my whole point of this is my whole life thinking that she would solve a big mystery in me, maybe even a mystery of unlocking with my son is. See, I think that everyone would feel the way I do. I think of my son every day, every hour. He's never not in my thoughts. He is my child. Now, we are probably strangers with nothing in common. I know he's a straight A student. He didn't get that from me. And all I'm saying here is I guess I thought that a mother's love was unconditional. And so when I opened up to tell this story, which I'm not finished yet with, but writing it down and releasing it's helping me grow. It's still kind of bittersweet in my mouth, I guess you could say. I don't really know where I was going with this. I was rambling. My mind has jumped to 500 different subjects, as usual, which means it's a good day for me to go outside and work it out and sweat and put all those memories away in a box and lock them up for a little while. So I hope everybody's Monday's great. Peace out.